Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
I'm just listening to that. Class, please take your seats. Well done. Well done. Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. Your dial's set correctly to USAPrepares.com. We broadcast 2 hours from the Missouri Ozark Mountains. There's a link to all of your instructors on the website, USAPrepares.com. Converging threats are confronted daily by your instructors. I'm Vincent Finelli. Aaron is engineering the broadcast in Minnesota. Captain John Regan, U.S. Air Force Reserves, retired, is with us in Studio D, Dallas, Texas. Welcome, John Regan.
Good morning, Vincent.
Hey, John. Good morning. I wanted to share something with you. I was on the Interstate 44 yesterday, and I was discussing this with our engineer just before the broadcast started, and I saw an unusual phenomenon. Now, I've seen tires that have shredded. I've seen that for as long as I've been driving, tires shredded along the side of the road. But what I saw yesterday was tractor-trailer treads, full treads, separated from the tires. They flipped off, and they lined the side of the highway. The left shoulder, the right shoulder. And these are complete treads. And they look like they had plenty of life left in them. These were not worn out. Anybody be happy to have that much tread on their tires, really. Well, for 100 miles, I saw between 10 and 12 of these. And the question is, why? So I was talking with Miles this morning before the broadcast, Miles in the European Union, and we were talking about how this happens. And what's happening is that the tread on these retreaded tractor-trailer tires is just not adhering to the main part of the tire. So where the steel belts are is where it's separating. The tread is separating from the steel belts. The adhesion is not there, and it's because of several factors. But the bottom line is, if you're next to a tractor trailer and one of these treads flips up, depending on what kind of vehicle you're in, it may crash through the windshield, it may not, but it could cause a chain reaction accident because it can destroy your radiator, it can destroy your grill, it can cause people to panic and slam on the brakes, and then boom, 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 chain reaction. So be careful. And I would consider, one more thing to think about when you're driving is what would happen if a tire separated, just in front of me. So maybe back off a little bit more from that tractor trailer in front of you. And that was one thing. Another thing I saw was a guy flying down the road, and he pulls in front of me, and he's got a big Ford truck with a really big ladder in it, maybe a 16-foot ladder. 16 feet each section. That'd be a 32-foot ladder. And I was hanging out the back, and, I thought, geez, it's just in the pickup bed. I really don't want to wear that ladder. So I backed off, and then I saw more and more of these, what I would consider carelessly packed loads trailers with the contents of their trailer, not with very low sides, let's say 1 foot tall on the sides. Stuff just put in a trailer that could fly out, at the first bump. Not secured. Unsecured loads in pickup trucks and pickup trucks with trailers. Just more nuisances, more danger on the road. And if the police are going to do anything, I think it'd be nice if they would stop these vehicles instead of stopping other vehicles for taillights. If they want to stop something, stop a vehicle. How about unsafe loads? That's something I think actually is worth improving the safety of. And that would be the loads that are in pickup trucks and trailers. Just my thought. And farmers, how many stories have you heard about? Well, probably not many, but there are stories of farmers putting cows in these cattle trailers. I'm talking about small trailers like we have, a 16-footer, and you might put 6 cows in there. Well, what we do is we wash out the trailer as soon as we're done with it. We wash it out, wash the manure and urine out of it, so the urine and manure don't decay the sides of the trailer and cause them to rust and cause the supports under the trailer to rust. Because what could happen is, and the boards, these are pressure-treated boards, what can happen is the decay of these boards over the years cause them to fail. And then the cows stand on them and boom, their foot falls through it, and then their foot drags through the bottom of the trailer as the trailer goes down the road. It's absolutely horrible to watch. It's horrible for the cows. It's horrible every way you look at it. So if you have a trailer and you're going to put animals in it, make sure that you test it and make sure it's safe for you, the people around you, and your animals. Just a thought, John Regan.
Well, since you brought up tires, I was listening to you last week talking about, what happens to tires as they wear down. And I happen to have an article for that. Under the health section, I have a link called Getting Tired. And it talks about how tires release these carbon black nanoparticles, and that these are even more damaging to the lungs than previously thought. Smokers get this from cigarettes, but apparently the rest of us are getting this from tires. And at the bottom of the article, it talks about how bad this is, because once you breathe the stuff in, it's impossible to get it out again. It's in your lungs, and that's it.
John, we're talking about, over the years on this broadcast, we're talking about, where do those tires go? And so they start out with a full tread, and they end up, well, generally, most of the time, they end up bald, or they get punctures and they're unusable. But a lot of tires end up bald. So where'd that tread go? And you just said it goes airborne. So as you drive down the road, the tread that you used to have gets worn off with each rotation of your tire. It gets airborne. So if you're in, like I was on the interstate, and there's traffic in front of you, you're inhaling the exhaust from the cars in front of you. You're inhaling the crankcase drippings, the oil that ends up on the exhaust manifold and gets burned and smells like smoke, burning oil, and the tires. That's what you're breathing. And probably even a little bit of the road. The road is wearing out too. That's why they keep replacing roads. So if you've been on concrete roads, you've seen that, after a number of years, they have wear marks in them. Well, you're breathing that road too. And my question years ago, after Fukushima, was, Bridgestone is it's a tire company that owns Firestone, and a lot of those tires are made in Japan. And what about the radiation in Japan? Is it ending up in our tires? And maybe deliberately or not deliberately. So the radiation is in the rubber, and then it goes airborne, and then we breathe that. Those were my concerns. And I said to Mrs. Finelli, we were in a truck yesterday, and I said, I've said this on the air, I don't like going out much anymore. I'd rather just stay at the farm. And the more I see on the road, the more dangers, the more police and so forth, the more I don't like it, the more I want to stay home. I saw another phenomenon yesterday. when I lived on the East Coast, and if you saw the cops in the middle of the road hiding, people would flash their lights and they'd say, "Hey, the cops are up ahead, beware. Beware of the cops. Beware of the cops." Flash their lights. And what would happen is the person coming toward you, flashing his lights, would say, "Here come the cops are up ahead," and then you'd respond by flashing your lights, saying, "Thank you." Well, so for miles yesterday, I was on traveling for miles on the interstate. I saw this cop in a dip in this absolutely all black vehicle, black windows, black tires, black wheels, black paint, black bumpers, black everything. Completely unmarked black vehicle. Sniping. Completely, a very intimidating SUV. Just outside of Rolla, Missouri. Rolla, Rolla, Missouri. So I was, making sure that people, were cautious and didn't, run into him because he was hiding. So I flashed my lights for miles. Not one person flashed his lights to say thank you. And that's something that's starting to bother me. The number of people who don't say thank you anymore. It's really starting to bother me. We're not polite, or not as polite as we used to be. I'm not talking about USA Prepared students, instructors. I'm talking about those who are outside of our little circle. I'm talking about people who drive these Ford trucks. And I'm specifically targeting Ford with this comment because it seems like people who drive these pushed out, flared out fenders, big, massive front trucks. They've got these big grills. Like, look at me. Massive grills. Pushed out body, superstructure, pushed out, make it look bigger than it is. Those are the guys that fly up on my tail, no matter what lane I'm in, no matter what speed I'm going, fly up on my tail. They do that more than any other vehicle, pickup trucks and SUVs with the Ford brand, and push me out of the way. And I'd like to know, class, is that happening to you, or are they just picking on me? And it doesn't matter whether I'm driving my old little Mercedes or whether I'm driving my old pickup truck. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the color either, because the Mercedes is black and the pickup truck is white. Doesn't matter. It's fly up. If I'm doing the speed limit, they still push me out of the way. If I'm in the slow lane, they push me out of the way. If I'm in the fast lane, they push me out of the way. Doesn't matter. But it seems to be Fords, new Fords, and it's just trucks. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. By the way, tomorrow, Dane Wigington, hour number 1, geoengineering, and hour number 2, Dr. Millie Hinkle. We're going to be talking about raising camels, buying camels, and raising camels. No kidding. John Reagan's with us, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I'm the president of the largest private news and research network in the world. And I paid for this airtime because I have an important message to the American people. There's a change coming that the government isn't telling you about. This change has deep implications for life in America, from where you shop to the doctors you visit and the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. Thing is, I was right then too. A few years ago, I warned that housing prices would collapse. They did. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash. They did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves. But this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all.
You can watch the video for free right now by going to $downfall.com. Again, that's $downfall.com.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to produce an endless supply of nano-sized silver solutions right from the convenience of your home. Silver Lungs. With the addition of our unique lung delivery system, respiratory infections are targeted directly, where traditional oral administration simply cannot reach. This pioneering method also preserves the original particle sizes and delivers your silver solution directly into the bloodstream. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at silverlungs.com. That's silverlungs.com.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I'm the president of the largest private news and research network in the world. And I paid for this airtime because I have an important message to the American people. There's a change coming that the government isn't telling you about. This change has deep implications for life in America, from where you shop to the doctors you visit and the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. Thing is, I was right then, too. A few years ago, I warned that housing prices would collapse. They did. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash. They did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves. But this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all.
You can watch the video for free right now by going to $downfall.com. Again, that's $downfall.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sam Nussbaum with the Anthem Foundation. Premature birth is the leading cause of death of babies and disabilities for children. That's why we support the March of Dimes to help mothers have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. Join us in supporting cutting-edge research, treatment and outreach to help moms during their pregnancy and give every baby a healthy start in life. Learn how you can help at marchofdimes.org.
Captain John Regan's with us. TheFinancialStateOfTheUnion.com, TheFinancialStateOfTheUnion.com, and we are at the news tab. John, what's next?
Well, let me start at the very top. I've got a link there. Want to meet in person. And this is talking about the Hear the Watchman conference, March 18th through 20th here in Dallas. And Becky and I already have our tickets for this. Doug and Joe Hagman are the MCs. And for those that listen to Hagman and Hagman, you'll recognize a number of names that are going to be there, like Nathan Leal, Coach Dave Daubenmeier, Paul McGuire, Pastor David Langford, and there's others beyond that. So I'm looking forward to that. Like I say, Becky and I are going to be there. And if you're going, you can contact me and we can arrange to meet up. And if you want to see what Becky and I look like, you can go to the author tab on the Financial State of the Union. And this should be a really good time, especially if you're a believer.
Yeah, I was on a telephone call with the Hagmans, and it was great. This was weeks ago. It's always good to talk with them, and they're USAPreparedness.com instructors. So that's great. I'm glad you're going. By the way, we've got George in New Hampshire. George, welcome.
Hi, Vincent. And hi, John. I'd just like to say, if I could, I know what you mean about flashing the lights there. I tried to do it, and I noticed it happened to me recently, the same thing. I don't think anybody in a long line of cars even flashed me a thank you. But when I looked at the rearview mirror to see if any of them would break, I found that the majority of them wouldn't even break. They just continued on at their pace. And a number of times I could see they were exceeding the speed limit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't disagree with you. And I was wondering, as I saw this yesterday, I was wondering, are they not flashing their lights because they are in their own world? Are they on their cell phones? Are they mesmerized? Are they transfixed? Are they behind the wheel and not paying attention? And it was clear to me that was probably the case, because as I looked around to the traffic on the side of the road that I was on, I noticed that there were young people and they had earphones in, and, earbuds in their ears, both of them, which is absolutely insane. I see them walking across the street with earbuds in. It is impossible. It is impossible to have sound perception of what's around you when you have two earbuds in your ear. It's absolutely impossible. As a matter of fact, let me just put an exclamation point on this. When I am going to travel with a trailer load of hay pulled by a farm tractor, and farm tractors are loud, so I always carry a pair of earplugs in my pocket. So what I do is I squish these things up and put them in my ear, and it really prevents the damage to my ears from the loud noise of the tractor. But when I'm pulling out of a field onto a road, I will take at least one of them out, most of the time two. And the reason for that is I want to hear the whoosh of the tires coming over the hills so I can tell if a car is going to be coming toward me. Because I want to be aware of what's around me so I don't cause an accident or end up in an accident with somebody, doing hill hopping and racing down the road and slamming into me because they're going way too fast or not paying attention or listening to their cell phone or whatever they're doing besides paying attention. I'm really concerned about that. And that's one of the reasons why I really don't want to be on the road as much as I used to. I used to love to drive. Now I think it's a dangerous situation being behind the wheel.
No, I would definitely agree with you. And another thing along that line, I don't want to sound like a Boy Scout, even though I was one once. Sure, you and John were too, but I saw a man choking at a public event. At first I thought it was just like coughing or just sneezing, but then after a while he was sitting with his wife. So after I established in my own mind that, yeah, I think he's in trouble, I walked over. And nobody had come over to him. I walked over to him and I said, look, put your arms up over your head straight up. It opens up your trach, and that'll help you with the choking. But I mean, right. Like you say, I think a lot of people, for whatever reason, they're in their own world, self-absorbed, and unfortunately, I'm glad we grew up at another time.
You bet. Do you want to hold through the break, or is that your comment?
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
No way. Is that a real bullet necklace?
No, it's a 9mm bullet necklace with matching earrings, you'll notice.
Those are awesome. Where'd you get them?
Dave found them at patriotnecklace.com.
Wow.
They have a variety of calibers and necklaces and earrings and keychains.
Patriotnecklace.com?
Patriotnecklace.com.
Your choice of caliber bullet includes a rugged American-made stainless steel dog tag chain. A percentage of every sale goes to military and service-related charities. And get a discount by entering GCN at checkout. Show your patriotism and support our troops with a bullet necklace from patriotnecklace.com.
Did you know that select musical tones have the power to heal? By listening to 7 amazing songs that contain these tones, you can experience the power of music therapy.
I used to work in a pretty stressful atmosphere, but I started using the whole tones in the office, and I'm experiencing more focus, motivation, peace, and better relationships.
WholeTones99.com is a unique music therapy program featuring 7 secret ancient healing frequencies uncovered in the music of King David. Now you too can unlock the healing secrets of the Bible, as we are offering a free sample of this music so that you can discover their power to heal, relieve stress, and break negative cycles.
I use the tones to calm my 5, 3, and 2-year-olds to stop the fighting, and it works.
Now you can experience the healing music therapy in the comfort of your own home or office. Visit WholeTones99.com and get a free song. Visit WHOLETones99.com today for your free song. That's WholeTones99.com. WholeTones99.com.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting GoBerkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.
Does being over 40 make you feel like half the man you used to be? Do you feel more tired, out of shape, not in the mood like you used to be? Thanks to an exclusive formula, you can help boost testosterone levels safely and naturally. Introducing Ageless Male, a life-changing supplement for men tested to help increase testosterone levels.
You'll notice a boost in your energy levels. Workouts work, sex life improves. It's like a light switch goes on.
Try Ageless Male risk-free if you would like to experience what taking Ageless Male can feel like. Support for healthy, normal testosterone levels, healthy energy, and increased performance, and more romance when you want it.
Call 1-800-327-4821. That's 1-800-327-4821. 800-327-4821. 800-327-4821. That's 1-800-327-4821.
The human body is more than 60% water. Your brain and muscles are 75% water. And your blood is 92% water. Water's vital to your body, and alkalizing your water is the key to keep it running at its best. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops keep your entire body healthy, boosts energy, promotes weight loss, and even fights cancer. Call 800-518-7615 or go to alkavision.com to find out more. That's ALKAvision.com.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
Captain John Regan's with us. I'm Vin Finelli, USAPrepares.com. Back to you, John.
Let's take a trip through the preparedness section. First up, I have a link. What if it's only a financial collapse? And again, for those of you that have listened to the Hagman and Hagman show, they had a financial insider on known by the initial V. And V was interviewed on another show, which I'm glad because V is taken to doing his own show on Friday nights, and the archives are not available unless you're a subscriber. And I wanted to get this point out. Some experts that he has sat down, and decided, to ask or answer the question, what's going to happen in a financial collapse in terms of deaths? And he talked about on his show that 25 million dead. And in his interview, he actually gave a range, 25 to 50 million dead. And that's in 90 days. And that's because of violence and starvation. That's that's the extreme happy path, because I don't think we get to have a financial collapse without a war. If we have that war, then that turns the death rate to 99.5%. And I've gone over those numbers before here on the air. And if for some reason we bypass the war and get the global police state, New World Order, whatever you want to describe them by, if you go by the Georgia Guidestones, they only want to kill about 93% of us. So none of the options are great, but I wanted to make everyone aware. Well, what if it gets to be a really, really, really happy path and it's only a financial collapse? Basically, we're looking 10 to 15% of Americans dead in 90 days simply because of logistics and violence.
Mm-hmm. Now, tomorrow, Dane Wigington's going to be on with us at 9 o'clock, and we're going to talk about geoengineering and the threats there. And we're going to talk about, food production. We're talking about solar power disruptions by the global dimming, those kinds of things. But then at 10 o'clock, we're going to talk with Dr. Millie Hinkle. And this is really important because those who are dependent on insulin can reduce their dependence if they have camel milk from camels. And we're going to talk about how to raise camels. Seriously. So I'm really concerned about what you're talking about, John. I have been for many, many years. I'm concerned about the glass breaking, the blood in the streets and so forth. I can absolutely see it. I can see it and today is a good day. It hasn't happened yet. Tomorrow will be worse. The next day will be worse. It's getting progressively worse. People care more about themselves. And as we talked with George from New Hampshire about people don't even say thank you. They don't even acknowledge that you're warning them about a potential hazard ahead with your automobile. By flashing your lights, letting them know there's danger ahead. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. Getting run over by shopping carts in the supermarket because people are on their phones thinking about themselves. Driving with cell phones. I mean, even the signs on the Missouri Interstate that Missouri Department of Transportation has put up, these flashing signs that say, put down your cell phone, pay attention. Smartphones don't make smart drivers. All kinds of slogans like that because we are not paying attention. We're not paying attention to what's around us. I believe that the smartphone, and will maybe 15 years from now will be discovered that it's the threat that I've been saying it is to the family. I really believe that. So, John, when you talk about the collapse, the happy collapse will be just the financial collapse. Yeah. Imagine what it's going to be like. And let me give you another example. I went to buy something from a guy on Craigslist last week. We arranged that I'd meet him on Saturday. And he bought this piece of gear, this electronic piece of gear. This is not, consumer electronics. This is gear for that'd be used on a farm. And so I said, "Did you buy it new?" And he said, "No, he bought it from someone, and but it works and everything's great." I talked with him on Friday night to arrange what time I'd meet him on Saturday. And it was probably a 6-hour round trip for me in a truck, maybe 7. And he called me, and I finally got time to call him back when I came back in the farmhouse. And he said, "Well, listen, I want to let you know it doesn't work." So he bought it, being told it works, and it was fried. The circuit boards were fried on the inside. And he was kind of bummed out because the guy that sold it to him told him it worked. And that kind of stuff is happening. And I'm talking about misrepresentations, people not telling the truth when they sell something. So it's buyer beware. And these are the good days. And it's getting worse. What's next, John?
Next, I have a link called Homestead or Not. And this comes from the Organic Prepper. That the article is, "Here's why a prepper homestead may not be a good plan for survival." And she makes some good cases here. Especially if you're in the gray hair range and you don't already have a homestead. The time and energy that it takes to put a homestead together is staggering. And it's not something you can just have there so you can escape the city and have your bug out location. You need to be living it because that's the only way you're going to have the skills for it. And the article gets into all the areas that you could have to be concerned about and some of the shortcuts you can take. But even with that, she brings up how long it takes just to get food going. And rabbits is probably the quickest, and that takes 8 weeks. So if you wait until the poop hits the props, and you got a couple of rabbits, you can't wait 8 weeks for your meal. And it's come down to one of the, what I've pretty much come up with is that, especially if you're, let's say, over 55, maybe even over 50, what you should be more concerned about right now is storing food. And I'd say probably in the neighborhood of a 7 to 10 year supply, because there's just so much, like I say, time and energy involved in getting a homestead going, that food is going to be your best option. Now, you should probably have that in a rural location along with yourself, because the cities are going to be death traps. So as long as you've got some shelter, way to get water, and you've got a food supply, preferably have people surrounding you, and like-minded that are also, at least in some stage of preparedness, that's probably about as good as you're going to get. Vincent?
Well, I don't know if I should say this. Give me a second to think about it. Well, I guess I'll just say it. I don't know how to say this politely. Okay, here it goes. I've taken a few weeks off from the meetups. And there are a lot of factors that went into this decision. Oh, by the way, there's a meetup tonight. It's at Jimmy's Egg. I will not be there, but the meetup is continuing. Silent Night will be on stage. So I've taken some weeks off, about a month. I have so many things I have to do here at the farm. And what I've realized, I said to the meetup group that it's eight hours, just my time, to prepare for the meetup, to be at the meetup, and to get home. 8 hours. Literally. And that's a whole day's worth of work. And then I can't get that back. And so the farm suffers. And there's so many things that I have to do. And you talk about homesteading. You're exactly right. It takes so much time to do everything. Water. I have one little job I need to do today. It's absolutely critical. I have to move a cow. We moved our cows from one field to another. And so we moved about 100 cows. It took several hours to move them. Let's say a half a mile. That's without just walking them. And one of them got left behind. One of them is pregnant and she hid in the woods. So we found the cow yesterday and we couldn't get her moved to where all the other cows are. So all I have to do is move one cow a half a mile. It's going to take a couple hours today. That's my highest priority right after the broadcast. And what I'm saying is I'm finding that I don't have the time because of all the preparedness things I need to do and the survival items I need to do for our farm. I don't have the time to go to the meetups. And I told the meetup group this. And I'm wondering, and frankly, I don't like going in the city. I don't like fighting the traffic. I don't like going through these switch lane chicanes that the city has put up. I don't like that. I don't like the taxes. I don't like going to the city. I'm talking about Springfield, Missouri. I don't like being ripped off. I don't like having merchants having the attitude that however much money I have in my pocket, that's how much they want. I don't like that feeling. So I want to stay home at the farm more. I'm going to get to the meetups once in a while, but my highest priority is really to our animals and to my family. I'm the head of the household, and that may rub some ladies the wrong way. But the man used to be the head of the household. I'm still the head of the household. And I need to protect and defend my family. And that's my highest priority. To be the head of that household. And that's what you need to do too. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration system and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
No way. Is that a real bullet necklace?
No, it's a 9mm bullet necklace with matching earrings, you'll notice.
Those are awesome. Where'd you get them?
Dave found them at PatriotNecklace.com.
Wow.
They have a variety of calibers and necklaces and earrings and keychains.
PatriotNecklace.com?
PatriotNecklace.com.
Your choice of caliber bullet includes a rugged American-made stainless steel dog tag chain. A percentage of every sale goes to military and service-related charities. And get a discount by entering GCN at checkout. Show your patriotism and support our troops with a bullet necklace from PatriotNecklace.com.
Sciatica, lower back pain, hip pain, poor posture. If you suffer from any of these problems, get ready to relax. Introducing an amazing product that's been in the market for over 25 years, the Sacro Wedgie. It was invented by a football coach using a common sense osteopath technique. He created this device to help his athletes by isolating and supporting the sacrum, which is the keystone of our anatomy. This wedge-shaped bone is in the center of our hips, where a lot of pain starts. Simply relax 20 minutes daily on the amazingly simple Sacro Wedgie and let gravity do the work, helping muscles rebalance and start releasing nerves. Sit in the Sacro Wedgie at the computer or while traveling to help correct posture to finally help relieve those stubborn aches and pains for only $33.95. It's made in the USA, so click the family-owned website at sacrowedgie.com, spelled SACROWEDGY.com, or call 1-800-737-9295. That's 1-800-737-9295. Relax your back pain away with the Sacro Wedgie.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
You wouldn't go camping in the Everglades without bug spray, would you? It's in our nature to protect ourselves, especially when protection is simple and affordable. That's why IDStronghold.com has been providing affordable RFID protection for over 10 years. ID Stronghold wallets protect you from electronic pickpockets who pass near you with scanners and steal the information on the RFID chips in your credit and debit cards. IDStronghold.com is a technology company, so we understand how to best protect you against intrusive radio waves. ID Stronghold wallets are designed to block RFID signals, opened or closed, no matter where in the wallet you put your cards. Most other RFID wallets on the market were designed with only fashion in mind and do not shield properly, if at all. When you're shopping for your next wallet, be sure to get the protection you deserve by going to IDStronghold.com. Because getting anything else is like using latex gloves as oven mitts. Ouch.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Plus, I just want to mention that, so during the break, I went to Google and I typed in head space of space household, and page 1, all the results relate to IRS definitions of head of household. Not the family definition, the IRS definition of head of household. Let's see. Kyle in Montana. You're on with Captain John Regan and me. Welcome.
Good morning, guys. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Kyle.
Good morning. I just had a couple of thoughts. John was saying, the one financial guy was saying that 25 to 50 million in the first 90 days. I think that's absolutely true because, and could be even more, but, people have forgot how to work when their joints are swollen, when their backs got hurting, their shoulders are wore out. They forgot how to keep going like that. We don't have the same kind of fortitude that our grandfathers and fathers even had. I don't think as a society. It's just, people don't understand, like John's saying, how long it takes to get things going and how to build things right and staying with it until you get it done right. Because your life might depend on it. And I think a lot of people have just completely forgotten that stuff.
Kyle, I was reading a post last night, late last night, about students at the college level are more needy than ever before. Counselors have over two times the number of appointments they used to, because of the whining of these students. They just can't cope. And these are simple things that it wouldn't even occur to us that there were problems. For example, 911 gets calls because, someone sees a mouse or someone didn't get the right fries. So they'll call 911 if they're at one of those fast food joints. They'll call 911 because the service wasn't right. The people are becoming really needy. And all you have to do, if you happen to go to a place and you get the wrong order, you just say to the person serving you, this isn't mine. Or, I think this belongs to somebody else. You can be polite about it and get it fixed. You don't need to call, the government for help. And you're absolutely right. We are becoming more needy, more whiners are around us every day. And then we have more pushy people at the same time. So it's we're becoming less polite.
And the pushy people are even more needy. That's what's amazing. If you really think about it, those are the ones that are so insecure and don't know anything the only thing that they know is a boisterous attitude toward other people. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. John Regan?
Yeah, and the problem is they're not going to realize it until it gets here.
Which is why the 25 to 50 million of them will just die off. It's amazing to me. But anyway, that's all I had to say. I don't want to take up John's time. He almost never gets through half of his list. So I'd like
to. Come.
You guys have a great day. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. Yeah, John. How come you never get through? Come on.
Some people just have bad habits,
Yeah, what's next?
Let me try and run through the rest of preparedness. I want to get into Fukushima next. We talked about a couple of weeks ago how the government doesn't have food supplies anymore. Well, we've got a story out of Venezuela that they're now telling their citizens to eat fried rocks because of the food shortages. And the article after that is about familiarizing yourself with the symptoms of starvation. And let's pick up with that when we get back from the news and top of the hour break.
Symptoms of starvation. Wow. Never did we think we were going to hear that in the United States of America, right? Never did we think we were going to hear that. Other countries have gone through it. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Christine Tatum, co-author of Clearing the Haze, Helping Families Face Addiction, tells the Salem Radio Network the latest facts regarding marijuana use in Colorado are not promising.
Just about a week and a half ago, the Rocky Mountain High-Intensity Drug Trafficking Area, that's a federal office, released a report, and really the Gazette's headline sums it all up. New data condemn Colorado pot.
Christine Tatum, contributor, to the Colorado Springs Gazette. A Seattle-bound flight from New Jersey has made an emergency landing in Buffalo after a small fire in the galley of that plane. An airport official says Alaska Airlines Flight 17 was the one that was affected. It was diverted to Buffalo Niagara International Airport about 8 a.m. local time. He says a credit card reader caught fire. The crew put it out with a fire extinguisher. There were no injuries. More on these stories at townhall.com. From Washington, I'm Bob Agnew.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares Unfiltered and Untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares Untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com. Captain John Reagan's with us. The website, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. If you want to follow along with us, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. You can click on the news tab. By the way, John, if we would like to like you on Facebook, what do we do?
Well, at the top right on any page on the financialstateoftheunion.com, there's a Facebook icon. If you click on that, it will take you to the Financial State of the Union Facebook page, and then you would just click like as you would on any other Facebook page.
Great. Okay. So, John, we were talking hour number 1 about starvation. We're talking about store shelves being empty. Please continue.
So if we're facing starvation, it's probably good to know what some of the signs are. And this article goes through that. You get obsession with food. You can suffer depression and anxiety. And then you tend to reach a point where you find you've actually got better mental clarity and more energy. And what that is about, it's kind of like your body knows that it's in bad shape and you're getting what you need to go out and get some food. So if you don't get more food during that phase, you may end up quickly going downhill and reaching the terminal phase. It also talks about vitamin deficiency, which we typically don't see or see mild forms of it in our daily lives. Vitamin B1, for example, if you don't have enough, you can have vomiting, diarrhea, swelling body tissues, impaired vision. B3, you can have dementia, aggression, insomnia, skin lesions, shortage of B12, you can have anemia, shortage of vitamin C, you can have scurvy, which can lead to depression and fatigue. And vitamin C is what builds your tissue. So your tissue isn't able to regenerate itself properly, and you can experience pain and bone loss and blood loss. Not good things. And then the last part talks about refeeding syndrome. And if you do find a store of food, you need to be careful not to eat too much starting out, because your body's shut down quite a bit and it needs to get used to processing food again. So, don't go Thanksgiving if you find a large meal. So,
all really good information. And that's what happened during the liberation of the concentration camps at the end of World War II. And our guys had food for those in the concentration camps who were starved, and they had to give them food slowly so they wouldn't be worse off. I got a call from our daughter, and she said, she went to a supermarket, and they told her that they won't have turkeys for Thanksgiving and probably not Christmas either because of the absence of the birds due to the bird flu. Have you been following that, John? We talked about that months ago, that this would happen. Well, it's happening.
Yeah, I haven't seen articles come across on that yet. I expect as we get closer to Thanksgiving, I'll see a lot more on that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, and not having turkey for Thanksgiving or Christmas, is that the end of the world? I don't think so. So,
you can always have Soylent Green.
Yeah, right. By the way, that's a great movie, Soylent Green. Soylent, I believe it's spelled, Green. It's an old movie. You might find it quite fascinating.
And it is available through the Netflix DVD program.
Right. So there you go, Soylent Green. And what's it about? Well, it's about future food, which is cannibalism. What's next, John?
Now, let me just finish up here. I've got an article about, and the headline on the article is "The Lightsaber for Your Face." There's a company that's in the middle of a Kickstarter campaign that is developed this laser razor. And I put this in there because, when you're looking at what you're going to do in the new world, you can get a storage of razor blades, but, even if you have enough for your lifetime, eventually those are going to run out. And you probably ought to have a straight razor on hand. Those things last a long time. But especially those early days when things are really bad, I was thinking this would really be neat to have, because these laser razors don't cut the skin. And when you're in those, nasty, dirty, dusty days, and you don't have the medical facilities anymore, you don't want to accidentally get an infection simply because you shaved. So that's why I included that article. I've also got.
Hold on, just 1 second. 1 second. Here's a tip if you want to make your razors last a lot longer. This would be guys and gals. The last razors I bought, I think, was in the 1980s. That's the last time I bought razors. And these are disposable. And there was a guy at a flea market that was selling them, and he would sell them by the handful. And they were without packaging, and they were made by Schick. And there were 2 blades. And they're disposable razors, but they're kind of like the upper end of disposable razors. So he sold me a handful of them for $4 or $5. So I guess, as big as your hand could grab, I believe I got maybe 18 razors, maybe 20. I put them in a jar. I still have half of them left. Now, how can that be, right? So here's what I do. I shave in the shower. And I use regular soap. What I do is I take the bar, I'm all wet. I take the bar of soap and I put it on my face. And I apply it as you would like deodorant, but on your face with the bar of soap. And then I take the soap in my hand and I have lather in my hand with just plain soap. And I take the razor and I rub it across the where your thumb is on your palm of your hand. I rub it backwards, so the blade is going backwards against the soap on the palm of my hand. Literally, that sharpens the razor. No kidding. And so I will shave, and I might have to sharpen the razor a couple times during shaving for that day in the shower. And then I wash off all the soap from the razor and shake it dry. And we have this little shower rack where, you can put your soap bars that hang from the shower spigot or the shower head. So literally a razor, a disposable razor, a good quality one, will last easily a year. A year. But you have to wash the soap off it. You have to let it dry, and you have to sharpen it a couple times with soap against the palm of your hand, going backwards a couple times during shaving. It absolutely, positively works. So I'd like to hear from our class. If you try it, call us and let us know if it works for you. Now, here's what you shouldn't do, though. Guys, keep your razor for just you. It seems that the razors know their use, so don't share them with your gal. Okay? She keeps hers separate, you keep yours separate, and they seem to last a really, really, really long time if you do what I said. Back to you, John.
We've talked about earth bag houses before, and I came across this article on earth bag water tanks, and it talks about how to build a 1,000-gallon water tank with about $200 of supplies. And that's sitting on the Instructables website. And I've also came across an article, Tiny House Homesteading Town Wants You, and it's talking about Spur, Texas, and I can't tell you anything about that because I've never been there before. But there you can get lots cheap and connection to utilities for fairly inexpensive. Not an endorsement, but something here. If you're looking at a place to relocate, it's something you can research.
And John, it takes a lot of effort to build a self-sufficient place. I don't know if it's really possible to be completely independent, because even the 1800s, we were not completely independent. By the way, I've been watching the Hatfields and the McCoys on Netflix. I've been watching a little bit at a time. That is a real eye-opener. If you want to watch a good short series, maybe 5 hours, the Hatfields and the McCoys. It's about the War of Northern Aggression, how it started, or how when The video starts with the War of Northern Aggression and battles and killing people and bayoneting them and slicing them up and shooting them in the face and shooting them in the head, and how both sides were taught how to kill. And then the war's over. And then everything's okay. And it's supposed to go back to everything's fine, guys and gals. Everything's fine. Your family's destroyed. People are wounded. They're mentally altered. And everything's supposed to be okay. And it's not. So if you want to see a short series on bad things and how bad it can be, neighbor against neighbor, family against family, the Hatfields and the McCoys on Netflix. And it will teach you that you absolutely positively should not let your children enter military service. You'll see how bad it really is. We'll be right back. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help, so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of slingbow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I'm the president of the largest private news and research network in the world. And I paid for this airtime because I have an important message to the American people. There's a change coming that the government isn't telling you about. This change has deep implications for life in America, from where you shop to the doctors you visit and the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. Thing is, I was right then, too. A few years ago, I warned that housing prices would collapse. They did. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash. They did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves. But this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all.
You can watch the video for free right now by going to $downfall.com. Again, that's $downfall.com.
Healthy, organic, fresh fish, robust, mouth-watering vegetables, all from your home. It's called aquaponics. This brilliant, self-sustaining protein and veggie system is perfect for year-round growing. Know exactly where your food is coming from. Aquaponicssource.com is the one-stop shop for all your needs. Fish, fish food, plumbing, full systems, classes, and more. Learn to build your own system. Go to aquaponicssource.com for a free guide to aquaponics. That's aquaponicssource.com.
Captain John Regan's with us, and I'd like to make a very quick announcement. Mrs. Finelli and I were in the truck over the weekend, and we were talking about a neat broadcast that we should do, a series, and that's building a house. Building a house. What does it take? The framing, the roofing, insulation, above ground, underground, wiring, plumbing, septic system versus lagoon, water wells. If you know of an instructor who would be really good at bringing on the air, who knows a lot of this, a lot of the construction techniques that we should share with our audience, our class, our instructors, could you give me a call? 417-462-1105. 417-462-1105. And I'd love to chat with that person or those persons about teaching those particular classes on building a house. Or just send me an email, Vincent@usapreparedness.com, Vincent@usapreparedness.com. John Regan, back to you.
Let's switch over to the Fukushima section and talk about radiation both here and there. And last week we had talked about this radiation count on the Veterans Today website, and the updated one, Billings, Montana, is number 1, sitting at 542 times normal on counts per minute. Kansas City is number 2 at 351. Omaha's not far behind at 324 times normal. And last week we talked about how sometime last month there was an event that happened and radiation spiked after that. And everything I'm about to say is 100% speculation. But we've been watching these events happen in different places. We've had several explosions in China where speculation has been that it's advanced weaponry beyond nukes, could even be space-based weapons, and that these strikes were very near supercomputer facilities in China. It looks like that both sides are kind of feeling each other out and sending warning shots, and I think that could be what this is. And I don't believe it was an actual nuclear explosion. What it looks like to me is they basically probably sent a cruise missile dirty bomb so that they could penetrate mid-America, explode this thing, put out some radiation, which, while it's damaging, it won't cause any immediate health problems. And just to let the government know that they can do what they want at will with America. Like I say, don't know if that's the case, my speculation, but my 2 cents worth.
John, you and I have talked about this boom that we've heard weeks ago here at the farmhouse. Literally shook the farmhouse. A couple miles down the road, I checked with the Farmers Cooperative, and they heard it and felt it too. No one knows where it came from. No one says, "Oh yeah, that was Tom up the road. You know, he was doing some demolition." Or no one knows. And I was chatting with someone in the last few days who is trying to find out where this came from, and it could have come from as far as 400 miles away because of the way shock waves travel through the earth. We don't know exactly what it is. We're trying to find out, but we did have a loud boom here. it was different from a gun blast. It's something like I've never heard before. So that's quite disturbing, and we've been looking at the radiation. It's up all over the country. And are you going to talk about what's happening outside of St. Louis, this fire?
Yeah. St. Louis has some problem. They have a radioactive burial site there, and there's a landfill within 1,000 feet of this nuclear waste dump, and this landfill fire is headed towards that dump.
And they can't seem to put it out, right? And they haven't told us until it just leaked out, right? It just leaked out that this is a ticking time bomb right in St. Louis. We'll be right back.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor period, with packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. Why would you go anywhere else? KD offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free water purification kit for a limited time with any body armor package. Go to KDArmor.com. That's CATI armor.com. Come and take it.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I'm the president of the largest private news and research network in the world. And I paid for this airtime because I have an important message to the American people. There's a change coming that the government isn't telling you about. This change has deep implications for life in America, from where you shop to the doctors you visit and the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. Thing is, I was right then, too. A few years ago, I warned that housing prices would collapse. They did. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash. They did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves. But this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all.
You can watch the video for free right now by going to $downfall.com. Again, that's $downfall.com.
There are hundreds of silver products on the market today, but there's nothing like the astonishing health benefits of the multi-patented One Silver Solution. Boost your immune system at a great price with our Silver Solution Liquid, starting at $12.95 a bottle. Now available in regular and extra strength. That's half the price of the leading competitors. Call 844-U-SILVER for your free catalog, or go to OneSilverSolution.com. OneSilverSolution.com. There is only one Silver Solution.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and bad tweets can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? Reputation.com can protect your good name. Get a free consultation now at 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis from Reputation.com right now. Call 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Did you know that drinking pure, high alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
Captain John Regan's with us. John, you know, this is a pretty important piece of information. The story about the radiation, the nuclear dump at St. Louis. Do we have any more information to share?
Not to make fun of it, but it looks like their plan is hope and change. They hope the fire stops or that it changes direction. The emergency plan is absolutely ridiculous. They have very basic options for people to either evacuate the city or stay sheltered in their homes. You know, this is not a short-term problem. That fire's not going out anytime soon. And once radiation starts being released in the air, this could be a very serious problem for people in and around St. Louis.
John, you know, there are stories of farmers who have had bales of hay catch on fire, and it's almost impossible to put them out. They just burn for like a month until they're out of fuel. And we've heard of the peat bogs burning in Europe. They've been burning for hundreds of years, and there's no putting them out. And I experimented with mulch. I know of a mulch fire that I was involved trying to put out at a neighbor's home in Virginia. And all this was just mulch around the side of a brick home. You know, just to keep the weeds down. And it was on fire. It took so much water to put that out. It was unbelievable. And this was a tiny, tiny, tiny fire. So, for those who come to our home here in Missouri and you wonder why we don't have landscaping around the farmhouse, there's no mulch, there's no shrubs. There are reasons for that. They relate to snakes and the experience I had trying to put out a mulch fire. Yeah. Yep. And even if you have lots of water and great water pressure, it's still hard to put it out. So, John, when you talk about this, and we talk about, you know, Fukushima and how the fires there caused the radiation to go airborne, it's a big problem. And I just got off the phone with one of our family members who happens to be near St. Louis. And I said, by the way, if you get a call from me to leave. Put your windows up. Don't use your car air conditioning. You know, seal up your home and get out of there. Get away from it. And that was the phone call during the break. What's next?
Well, let me finish up real quick here because I want to get up to the financial section because there's been so much big financial news. And it didn't start there because that would have taken the whole show. So I'm going to take the last link in Fukushima and the first link in health. There's been enough time now that we're seeing cancer in Japan. And what they're seeing now is the Fukushima kids having thyroid cancer up to 50 times normal rate. And in Hawaii, they're seeing tenfold increase in birth defects. And I've got a question here. the article talks about after becoming GM corn testing grounds, but they're also sitting there in the Pacific. So is it GMO? Is it Fukushima, or both? Either way, we've got some serious health issues going on in the Pacific area there.
Yeah, and we said that Fukushima was the worst man-made disaster since Noah's flood. We stand by it. And we're learning that it's absolutely true. Please continue.
Well, I've got a link in the employment section I want to get to. It's called Good Bad News. And normally when we talk about a company having a bad quarter and firing 2,600 people, we consider that bad news. However, when that company is Monsanto, I think we have to consider that good news.
Absolutely. Great news.
Oh, boy. Up in the financial section, let's go with the second link, now found. All of a sudden, the Fed finds another $2.7 trillion in debt that they hadn't reported on. So I guess.
John, one quick comment about Monsanto. It's kind of like people who voted for Obama. I don't want them coming to my farmhouse. I don't want to spend time with them. They're trying to steal from us. So I don't engage with them. I don't like them. People who are cops who are ticketing us and who are on quotas, I don't like them either. And people who work for companies who are trying to kill us, I don't want anything to do with them. So here's just one quick thought. So if you go to church and you're sitting next to someone who works for Monsanto, get up and move. Get up and move. Don't talk to them. Cross them off your friends list because they're not your friends. They're not your friends. They're trying to kill us. Those are not our friends. And when you hear people say, yeah, but it's just their job. Oh, really? Really? It's just their job to kill us? They're in the secretarial pool, or they're in some other part of Monsanto? Why would you want to be friends with them? Back to you.
Anyway, talking about debt, and I've talked about this before. The United States has confirmed $60 trillion in debt out of $100 trillion worldwide. There's another firm that says world debt is over $200 trillion. I have not been able to confirm that. Either way, it's bad news. But just to pile on another couple of trillion, I guess, once you're 60 trillion, what's another couple trillion? Of course, everybody's broke. And let's go down to no cavalry. This is from mainstream news even. The central banks are now saying they can no longer save the world. So when this next financial crisis hits, don't expect things to get close to normal. I'm sure they'll do negative interest rates and, probably the next round of QE, but the best that can do is, put things off for just a little bit. There's once we go down this next time, there's no getting up from it until everything is reset. And they should have let things reset before. The longer they kick the can down the road, the worse the actual event's going to be. So if you need mainstream news to try and help show somebody what's going on, I brought that up. And found a news item actually out of Springfield there. Teamsters are really hot when their pensions get cut. And this is going to be happening more and more. And they're talking about their pensions may be down to $500 or $600 a month, a whole lot less than what they were expecting to live on. But this is what you get when you believe the lies of, the unions, the corporations, the governments that promise all these great things, but there is, no way they can even possibly deliver on it.
John, I was talking with, this dirt road that we live on. Every once in a while we get a chance to chat with our neighbors, and, we can pull up door to door in our vehicles and our trucks and just kind of chat for a while because nobody's coming down this road. And we were talking about the pensions, and he's livid. He's absolutely livid that people who have paid into a pension believing that they would have, a retirement, and finding out that the retirement is not what they expected. They're livid. They're outraged. And this is theft. This is theft. And I'm wondering what's going to happen to these bankers who have stolen from us. I wonder if they are in harm's way. I wonder if there's going to be vigilante justice. I wonder if it's going to be like the Hatfields and the McCoys. And if you want to see what that's like, that's on Netflix. I think it's coming. I really do. I think it's coming. I don't want it to come, but I think it's coming. What's next?
I have a link near the bottom of the financial section called "It'll Happen Sooner Than That."
Mm-hmm.
Report out: U.S. government will have no money to spend on military or infrastructure by 2027. And my contention is it won't even take that long. It's simply the numbers that we've talked about here before. And, we're getting so close to the end game that, they're just plain not able to hide it anymore. And,
do you know anybody, John, do you know anybody who believes that politicians tell the truth? Do you know anybody who believes in campaign promises? Do you know anybody who actually believes what he or she sees and hears on the mainstream news? Do you know anybody?
That reminds me of the little boy being read a bedtime story by his grandmother, and the boy turns to his grandmother and says, "Grandma, do all fairy tales begin with once upon a time?" And she said, "No, dear. Sometimes they begin with, if elected, I promise."
Yeah. And I've mentioned if I get a chance to speak in front of the Republicans as an elected representative of the Republican crime syndicate, I would like to say, hey guys, why don't you give somebody else a chance? And by the way, if you don't honor your campaign promises, are you willing to resign immediately? Are you? If not, why don't you let somebody else run? John Regan, I'll be right back. Oh, meet up tonight. Silent Nights on Stage. Jimmy's Egg, 4:45 to 8 p.m. It's absolutely free. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
No way. Is that a real bullet necklace?
No, it's a 9mm bullet necklace with matching earrings, you'll notice.
Those are awesome. Where'd you get them?
Dave found them at PatriotNecklace.com.
Wow.
They have a variety of calibers and necklaces and earrings and keychains.
PatriotNecklace.com?
PatriotNecklace.com.
Your choice of caliber bullet includes a rugged American-made stainless steel dog tag chain. A percentage of every sale goes to military and service-related charities. And get a discount by entering GCN at checkout. Show your patriotism and support our troops with a bullet necklace from PatriotNecklace.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of slingbow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Did you know that drinking pure, high alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of slingbow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I'm the president of the largest private news and research network in the world. And I paid for this airtime because I have an important message to the American people. There's a change coming that the government isn't telling you about. This change has deep implications for life in America, from where you shop to the doctors you visit and the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. Thing is, I was right then, too. A few years ago, I warned that housing prices would collapse. They did. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash. They did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves. But this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all.
You can watch the video for free right now by going to $downfall.com. Again, that's $downfall.com.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Blockit Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockitPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockitPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockitPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Captain John Regan's with us, the financialstateoftheunion.com, and we're at the news tab on the website.
Now let's go down to the bigger picture, and I need to talk about the should have gone gay link. And this is about a colonel of ours that got caught in sexual activity he shouldn't have been in, and unfortunately for him, it was between himself and a woman. It's adultery, which is against military law, faces discharge. However, if he'd been homosexual or transgender, he would be celebrated, probably get an award. I'm not trying to justify what he did. but we're talking about consensual relations here, and it's the wrong kind of consensual relations for what our government is standing up for. I just want to point out the double standard. We also have cases of troops on deployment that don't have anybody at home to take care of their affairs, and their credit report gets dinged, and because of that, they end up losing security clearances and get drummed out. But it just aggravates me that there is this double standard instead of doing the right thing and treating all the inappropriate activity the same. And the article after that, Defenseless History, there's a lot of talk about gun confiscation, and this is one of those, articles for reference because it has the genocide chart that lists the large number of people that died during the 20th century because their guns were confiscated and they were defenseless against their own governments. And in the case of the Soviet Union and the Nazis, you're talking about roughly 20 million each. China, the nationalists, 10 million. Red China, 20 to 35 million. And it just doesn't appear in the gun debate, and it needs to be there. In addition to pointing out that, gun-free zones are rather stupid.
Mm-hmm. You're going to be talking about some of these prescription meds that are going to contain ways of spying on us?
You're up there looking at spy tech.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to despise. Yeah.
Well, that and back end. They've got these chips to go into pills, and they've got RFID chips in it so that a sensor can pick them up and transfer that to a cell phone and onto your doctor or maybe the police department later on. And I can just imagine SWAT teams coming in. You have not been taking your medicine, Mr. Finelli.
Well, that's true. That's true. Anything else? Anything else I need to know that's true? Yeah.
And the article after
now, if
that.
If they say you've been taking your supplements, I would say, yeah, that's also true.
The article after that talks about the back-end system of tracking such type implants that the U.S. military is talking about.
Class, if you want to read up on this, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. I'm going to go move a cow, John, right after this broadcast, about a half mile from one field to another. That'll be fun. And, John, thanks so much for being with us and sharing your wealth of knowledge and information to help get us better prepared for what's coming. Class, above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Then get on board with the Tax Admiral and let us steer your way to financial freedom.
The IRS is the largest collection agency in the world. They can freeze your bank accounts, seize your car, home, will garnish your paychecks and benefits.
Don't take on the IRS alone. I can fight for you using industry secrets that can help stop the IRS. I'll cut your penalties, slash your interest, and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company with over 30 years experience helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. And we have a 95% customer satisfaction rating.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, are facing an audit, a lien, or levy, then call me right away.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.